Welcome back into the film room. I'm your host, Erik Turner, and in today's Cover 1 Film Room feature, I'm going to show you how Josh Allen and the Bills offense went back to their fastball and why that's a good sign going forward. In the game Thursday night against the Bucs, it felt like the old school Bills offense, the spread type offense, the up-tempo rhythm type offense that we saw over the last few years, where the Bills were attacking the entire field. They had Josh Allen in the no huddle, using tempo, and that really uncovered the Buccaneers' complex schemes and pressures and allowed Josh Allen to see the field so well. He was like a point guard out there. In fact, he got rid of the ball so quickly in this game, and that really stymied any type of pressure that the Bucs were sending at him. He got rid of the ball in 2.27 seconds, and according to Next Gen Stats, that was the quickest time to throw in his entire career. And most of those passes were underneath. According to PFF, 60% of those passes were in the 0 to 9 yard range. So they were getting the ball out of his hands and into the hands of his playmakers. Guys like Gabriel Davis, Khalil Shakir, Dalton Kincaid. He was distributing to everyone. And that really kept the Bills offense a step ahead of the Bucs defense for a majority of the game. And so in this breakdown, we're going to take a look at those weapons, Davis, Shakir, and Kincaid, and how the Bills and Josh Allen got the ball into those guys' hands in different ways than we have seen a majority of the season. So without further ado, let's jump into some of the film. So let's start with Gabe Davis. 12 targets, 9 receptions for 87 yards and a touchdown. First and 10 situation here. First quarter, 10:52 on the clock. This is a 16-yard gain, and I thought Dorsey did a great job of moving him around and targeting him in areas of the field that he's not normally targeted. And kudos to Josh, too, because there were a lot of plays where Josh just took it upon himself to hit Gabe. This is one of those occasions. It looks like the Bills are running an RPO with Murray coming across the formation and Kincaid running that slant route that you used to see the Bills run with Cole Beasley. Josh likes the matchup and leverage to the bottom of the screen with Gabe Davis one-on-one, so he takes it. Single high safety look. You like that throw and catch by Gabe Davis. Good job of getting his feet in along the sidelines, too, for a 16-yard gain. Next play, first and 10 situation, first quarter, 10:25. Bills are in the no huddle, shotgun formation, empty set. My favorite when you have Josh Allen at quarterback. And with the tempo that the Bills used, it allowed Josh Allen to see the field so much better, to see any type of blitzes or pressures that the Bucs were going to send. The Bucs try fooling Josh on this play. They send a creeper pressure. So on the snap, what's going to happen to the bottom of the screen? Diggs is running the seam route. Davis is running the stop route, curl route. To the bottom, that's their Hoss concept. And what the Bucs are doing they're sending a creeper pressure. So you're going to see the linebacker insert as a rusher. You're going to have this safety drop down to the underneath area. And with this cover 3 call, that means this end is dropping out into the flats area. But there's just no way that he can get out there quick enough to get underneath the route by Gabe Davis on this play. Easy pitch and catch and read by Josh Allen. Takes a snap. He's reading the safeties, specifically Winfield. You see him drop out into the post. The rotation happens. Single high look. Hoss concept. That's a great cover 3 beater. Stop route by Davis. And the Bills nearly move the chains on this 9-yard gain. We're still in the first quarter. 3:33 left in the quarter. First and 20 situation. Bills behind the chains. They get 9 yards to Gabe Davis on this RPO look. It's nice to see these plays back in the playbook, especially these quick hitters to Gabe Davis on this play. And the Bills are essentially just running a diagonal or flat route by Shakir, and then a quick little glance route or seam route right up the middle as the Bucs coverage kind of unfolds on this play. So you get the RPO action to Cook. You get the linebacker shooting the gap here. And I don't know if this was planned or not. My guess is that White is freestyling it here. We've seen teams start to do that, blitz that inside backer when the Bills run their play action so that they can't get those big plays down the field. But I love this play from Davis because essentially, watch him slow play it. As this defender goes out with the diagonal route by Shakir, he just sits. He kind of just replaces that linebacker and sits in the seam with this defender and offense off coverage. So it's an easy pitch and catch. As long as Josh can get it up and over any defender or pass rusher, this is an easy pitch and catch into the short area of the field, an area that Davis really doesn't live in. You can see it better here from this angle. Once again, you're getting that run action with the mesh between Josh Allen and Cook. Typically, this is the read. If he stays back, I imagine Allen is going to give it, but you see him come downhill, rush the quarterback, so he just hits Davis in the short seam for a 9-yard gain. We are now in the second quarter, 6:09 on the clock. First and 10 situation. This is a 14-yard gain to Davis at the bottom of the screen on a switch release concept, a concept the Bills used to run a ton of under Brian Dable. Formations into the boundary, so you have 3 eligibles into the short side of the field. That, along with the pressure that the Bucs send, allow the Bills to attack the open space in green to the bottom on the switch release concept. So Davis, quick curl route in between the numbers and the hash, switch release by Shakir, and this is usually a leverage read. Typically, if the defender that's covering him stays over the top, he's probably going to sit. But if that defender is playing low, he's going to take this deep. As the Bucs match him, you see him just take it deep, and Davis reads that beautifully. As that defender is buzzing with Shakir into the boundary, look at him curl right around the hip of him, and there is so much green for him to operate with this 3 deep, 3 under look. The Bills did a great job of exposing those coverages when the Bucs did it, and they get 14 on this play. On to the second half, third quarter, 13:18 on the clock. First and 10 situation. This is an 11-yard gain by Davis. Another play type that is not really utilized often for the wide receiver, but I love it here. This is Josh Allen at the line of scrimmage, audibling to their Miami call. We saw it last week to James Cook at the bottom of the screen. This time they're actually checking it to Davis at the top of the screen. Josh thinks a blitz is coming. So what does he do? He wants to get the ball out of his hands into his playmaker's hands. He does that, and you can see Diggs, Brown, Morse getting out there in space. And Davis does a good job of reading those blocks and making the defender miss right there. And he's able to get 11 yards on the play and move the chains. I absolutely love this play call in the red zone. 12:09 on the clock, 2nd and 7 situation, 14-yard gain to Davis at the top of the screen. Davis makes the defender miss, and he gets some yards after the catch. Another RPO type look, this time with Spencer Brown pulling, which freezes this edge defender. But more importantly, that run action gets this defender, Levante David, to bite inside. And so now you essentially have a 2-on-2 up top, but that second defender is a safety from depth. This corner has to come down hot, and Davis knows that. Look him catch the ball, and he's now anticipating that defender and makes him miss, and he's able to get yards after the catch. I absolutely love that the Bills are back in the RPO game. They haven't run enough of it this year. Here's that run action. Brown across the formation. You're getting everyone, especially those talented linebackers of the Bucs, downhill. This defender is unblocked, essentially, and Josh just quickly gets it out to Davis with very good placement, which is very important, so that Davis doesn't have to fight the catch. He catches it, and he's already looking upfield to make that defender miss. He's able to get good yards after the catch, and the Bills move the chains and now are in business inside the low red zone. Same drive, 2nd and 4 situation. This is the 4-yard touchdown pass and catch from Josh Allen to Gabe Davis on the same exact concept that Deontay Hardy scored against the Giants a couple of weeks ago. Essentially a mesh concept, but you're going to see it dressed up differently this time, and the Bucs do not recognize it. You get the jet action from Hardy across the formation, then he's just running a diagonal route to the flats. Bills are sneaking out Kincaid to the front of the end zone right here. Davis has the back line, so a nice high-low. Diggs is a decoy on this play. He's running that mesh across the formation. I want you to see the attention that he gets on this play. The defender over the top of Gabe drops Gabe right in the middle of the end zone as those guys come across. And so you have 3 guys jumping Diggs here, and that leaves Davis wide open along the back line. Josh has a good amount of time to stand tall in the pocket and deliver the high point pass in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. You can see David calling it out. He's saying, hey, they're going to run crossers. They're going to run crossers. But the window dressing of Hardy across the formation, snapping it as he's running across the formation, and the defense having to bump and change your assignments on the fly. The ball control and ball handling by Josh Allen hits the top of the drop, and there's just so much action on the back half of this play when you're talking in the wide receiver routes. A lot of communication has to happen on the fly, and they blow the coverage. You see Winfield pointing out, someone's got to drop off and pick up Davis. It's too late. That defender, that corner is not able to, and the Bills are able to put 6 points on the board. On to the final play of this Davis portion of the breakdown. 8-yard gain off the RPO we saw earlier. This time Dawkins is pulling. Cook's coming across the formation on the mesh. The Bills have leverage, something they did so well in this game. They had their receivers run to green. They had great reads by those wide receivers and the quarterback when it came to understanding the leverage and where that green is going to open up. Shakir is essentially running a leverage read here. This time he breaks it out into the corner. Davis is just running that diagonal route quickly. He has leverage on Neal as Neal is coming down from his safety position. Easy leverage. You can see it. He's got a few yards on him. He's got to work under Shakir. Easy pitch and catch for Josh Allen and Davis on this play. And Davis is able to transition to a runner and get yards after the catch to get 8 yards on this first down play. And as I said at the top, I thought the Bills did a great job of getting the ball into space and using personnel. This is 10 personnel. There's no tight ends in on this play. Davis, for most of this game, played essentially like a quasi tight end with knocks out. And something the Bills used to do a bunch under Dable. They used to major in 10 personnel, and they would use Davis like that, and you would see plays like this underneath the Davis. So with knocks out over the next month or so, look to Davis to kind of pick up some of those reps in the passing game and running a lot of those quasi tight end type routes like you see here. All right, on to Khalil Shakir. 6 targets, 6 receptions for 92 yards. And I said it all week leading into this game, the Bills want that Cole Beasley role filled. They want someone to step up and grab it, and Shakir has the last few weeks. This is a concept that they used to run a ton with Beasley and Davis. Davis is running the go route outside, and then Shakir is just slow playing the option route. He breaks it outside here, and what the Bills used to do is just hammer that route. Lots of volume to that route on the option route. And then eventually that defense is going to start trapping it outside, and that's when they used to hit the honey hole shot to Davis over the top for big plays and touchdowns. Great timing and placement by Josh Allen on this play. You'll see the outbreaking route right there, and then the throw is inside. He's keeping Shakir inside, so he's not leading him into that cloud corner. And that allows Shakir to immediately transition into a runner and to get 13 yards on this play. Later in the drive, 2nd and 2 situation here. This is a 21-yard gain to Shakir at the bottom of the screen. And this is what he brings to the offense. Yards after the catch ability, and he really got the stadium going on this 21-yard gain. On the snap, what the Bucs are doing, they're slanting this defender. They're bringing this guy. We've seen teams do that since the Jags game. We've broken it down many times in the film room. The Bills are running a curl swing to that side of the field, and Josh probably could have thrown this, kept it to the outside shoulder away from Levante David, and nearly would have gotten the first down, if not got the first down. He bypasses this combination to the top of the screen and remembers that he has an outlet to the bottom of the screen. To the bottom of the screen, the Bills are basically running a 3-level passing concept. So you got a deep over by Diggs. Davis is curling it up, and then you're having the diagonal route by Shakir. So Josh immediately moves on from that 2-man route concept into the short side of the field and remembers he has an outlet in Shakir. Shakir has space and does a great job of making that defender miss to get some yards after the catch and really get the stadium in a frenzy. Watch it from the end zone angle. The Bucs get that free rusher. Josh quickly moves on, gets it to his outlet, and then this move right here, this is what he brings. This is why he could add a different element to this offense that we haven't really seen from this position. If Josh can get it to him in the underneath area, he can do things like this. He makes that defender miss, and then watch him drop his shoulder into the corner right there, maintain his balance, and get yards after that contact. That's what he brings. And look what it does to the sideline here. Look at everyone jump up, waving their towels, going bonkers. This is a play that set the tone early on and let a lot of those emotions and tension and anxiety this offense has been feeling early in games out and really got them rolling. Same drive, first quarter, 9:23 on the clock, 2nd and 10 situation. Just a 5-yard gain from Shakir from his slot position. Nothing special. Third guy in the progression, too high safety look. Bills are working the top of the screen. Speed out to Kincaid, and then the option route by Cook. Josh doesn't like the leverage that those receivers have, so he just moves on. He goes to number 3, and that's Shakir in the slot, just hooking it up right at 5 yards, becoming that outlet, that safety valve, that security blanket for his quarterback. Bottom of the first quarter, 2:31 on the clock, 3rd and 5 situation. On this play, the Bills run a different variation of mesh, which makes me happy. I have not liked the mesh concept that the Bills have used this year, and the Bills get a 30-yard gain down the field to Shakir on this play. So let's break this down. I love this concept and combination of these two type of routes. So the Bills have a route concept, the mesh concept, to attack the sticks. The Bucks were in man coverage. That's where Josh would be looking. But as you can see, the Bucks drop out into zone coverage and really take away and cap the play at the sticks. So Josh has to look down the field. And this is where I give kudos to Dorsey on this play. He has a zone beater concept, specifically a single high zone beater concept called for Shakir and Sherfield. So Shakir's running that deep over route. And then Sherfield's running that deep dig in breaking route right there. A very good single high zone beater concept. And on this play, Josh works the stick. So he's working low to high, looking at the first down marker. There's nothing there. So now with great blocking up front, a 4-man rush picked up beautifully, gives Josh time and depth in the pocket to go through his progressions and look down the field. And as you can see, no one is back. This corner is looking down at Cook, not gaining depth in his zone coverage here. And that allows Shakir to uncover for the big play down the field. So kudos to this staff for this concept, because they were prepared to attack the sticks, attack the first down marker, but also down the field if they were to see zone coverage. Josh just needed time, and he got it on this play, and that's how the Bills picked up 30 yards down the field to Shakir. Top of the third quarter, 14:25 on the clock. 1st and 10 situation. This is a 9-yard gain from Shakir. Pretty simple play, right? But this is an example of Josh starting to trust Shakir on this play and being able to read the body language of him. So in the Davis portion of this breakdown, you saw them run that Haas concept. So a seam route by Diggs and then a stop route by Davis. But on this play, you're going to see Devin White. He's buzzing out there, and then the corner's kind of sitting on that route by Davis. So Josh bypasses those two options, goes to his number 3, and that's Shakir in the slot. Shakir's eyes are already on Josh, so he already is locked in with Josh. But the body language is important. You can see how he is kind of angled here, right? And that is telling Josh to throw it to the inside shoulder so that he can catch it and get right upfield and kind of split these two defenders that are rotating and spinning to their area of the field in this cover 3 look. Body language is incredibly important to Josh. Look, eyes to Josh, numbers to Josh, body language to throw it to the inside shoulder so that he can split those defenders and get 9 yards on the play. Seems pretty simple, but this is the type of thing that Josh Allen relies on when he's starting to trust wide receivers and needing to trust wide receivers. Body language is important. He always talks about it. He talked about it in this presser and why he and Shakir had such a good night together. And it's just little plays like this that go a long way in the season. Top of the fourth quarter, 12:22 on the clock. 2nd and 9 situation. Here's a reception by Shakir. 14 yards on this play. It's a similar play we saw a couple reps ago. This time, they move some guys around. So, mesh concept. And the Buccaneers are actually showing man coverage. Corners are over here to the top of the screen. So, they're showing man coverage, but post-snap, they drop out in the zone. So, you get that mesh concept that we saw earlier. You have the crossing routes by Kincaid and Shakir under. And then they try putting Diggs on the deep over route. He's the deep over route. And the in-breaking route right here by Sherfield once again. So, they just move some guys around. But still, that mesh variation that we saw. But I just love the body language of Shakir, but also this throw into traffic by Josh Allen. Watch as Shakir is running that crossing route in between the two linebackers. How he once again shows his body like he's going to angle upfield, telling Josh, hey, I need you to hit me on the outside shoulder here so he could split those guys again. And it's just a perfectly placed pass by Josh in traffic. And then he's able to get a few yards after the catch from Shakir on this play because of the anticipation and read and rhythm that he was in on this throw. Watch it from the end zone angle. Josh working through those progressions, processing that it looked like man coverage, but it ended up being zone, working through those progressions, and then right there, the timing, placement by Josh allows Shakir to pick up and track the ball, but more importantly, the nearest defender and guy he needs to make miss. And he does that, and he gets some yards after the catch and protects the ball to get the first down. Great work all around by the Bills offense on this play. Processing from top to bottom, body language by Shakir, and then throw from Josh Allen and placement from Josh Allen so that Shakir can maximize the play. All right, on to Dalton Kincaid. He had 7 targets for 5 receptions and 65 yards and his first career touchdown. Early in the game, bottom of the first quarter, 1:12 on the clock, 2nd and 4 situation in the low red zone. The Bills tried getting him into the red zone early in this game with a power read shovel pass. So Deontay Hardy and Josh Allen are executing the mesh. Allen is reading Lavonte David, who is the end man on the line of scrimmage. He stays out wide with the wide zone type run. So Josh pulls it and shovels it to Kincaid, but David does a good job of recovering and stopping Kincaid outside of the end zone and forcing a 3rd down play. All right, on to his touchdown, 2nd quarter, 2:46 on the clock. 3rd and 12 situation. The Bills did a good job of identifying where Winfield Jr. was all day. He's a disruptive player, is always making plays and creating turnovers, creating havoc. So they make sure to slide out to him as the Bucs send him and the linebacker on this play. The Bills pick it up very nicely, and to the top of the screen, they're running post wheel. So we saw this concept a few weeks ago against Miami. Post by Davis, wheel by Shakir up the sideline. And I love Kincaid at the bottom of the screen. Watch him as Winfield goes and the awareness that he shows off. He immediately becomes a sight adjustment if Josh needs it. If he's in trouble, he is right there to become the outlet. He recognizes Josh is not in trouble. They pick it up. So what's he do? He gets into his route over the middle of the field, and he runs away from Neal, who's dropping from his safety position. And with Josh getting outside the pocket, Lavonte David is in a tough spot here. He has to come downhill and attack Josh on this 3rd and long situation. He is now the contained player. And so that allows Kincaid to replace him, catch the ball, and get upfield for the touchdown. So a heady play from Kincaid. He sees the pressure coming, immediately becomes a sight adjustment. Oh, Josh doesn't need it. Josh goes into scramble drill mode with Lavonte David dropping out into the underneath area. Now he becomes that dual threat. And look at the separation from Kincaid as he comes across the middle. And then the catch is perfect. Frames it perfectly, adjusts his body to catch it with his hands, and immediately transition upfield for the touchdown. And then you get to see him go have some fun in the corner of the end zone with Billsmafia. Coming right out of halftime, the Bills go to Kincaid on 1st and 10 here for an 18-yard gain. And it's a play that we saw the Bills run to Gabe Davis earlier in this breakdown. Very nice, quick throw and read from Josh Allen. So Diggs and Kincaid to the bottom of the screen. You can see a slant route over the middle, and then just that diagonal route by Diggs. The read post-snap here with Morse pulling on a full block. Cook coming across the formation. This is the read right here. You see Lavonte David, one of the better linebackers in the league, get caught in a bind here. He's a conflict defender. Kind of folds into that run fit. And just look how quickly Kincaid shows his eyes to his quarterback and just replaces that linebacker and finds that area over the middle of the field. He's letting Josh know, hey, I'm open. Hit me now. And the throw is not a good throw. But watch the adjustment and smoothness by Kincaid. This pass is essentially low and on the back hip. He scoops it up with his hands and is able to get yards after the catch to move the chains. You get a better look at it from this angle. There's the mesh. David slides. There's a little area that they can attack, and they do. Josh throws it a little low and behind, but just look how easy it is for him. Barely breaks stride. Catches it low and behind him, and he's able to turn upfield and still eke out yards after the catch after adjusting to that inaccurate throw. Big play here from Kincaid in the third quarter. 6:27 on the clock. 3rd and 4 situation. 15-yard gain here. One hell of a throw and catch from these two players, Josh Allen and Kincaid. It's man coverage. The Bills motion Kincaid into the formation. He runs an out route, but it's taken away from David's good coverage, but he goes into scramble drill mode and is able to make one hell of a catch along the boundary. The Bills get man coverage on this mesh concept, and I think Josh wants to go to Gabe Davis over the middle. He's running one of those drag routes over the middle, and I think he wants to go there because he realizes that the safety actually has Gabe in coverage, and he's coming from depth. And with it being 3rd and 4 here, he thinks he can get that ball to Davis for the first down, but that's quickly taken away, and Josh goes into scramble drill mode. And at this point, Kincaid is not open. You can see him throughout his route. David does a good job against Kincaid here, much like he did against Laporta when they played the Lions. He's not open, but as Josh realizes that Winfield's coming down and taking Gabe away, and he starts rolling to his left, watch him point to Kincaid. Hey, go up the field, clear out. Kincaid doesn't even need that direction. Look at him immediately go upfield. And as soon as he does turn, Josh releases it and throws it up the sideline. One hell of a throw, too. The placement and velocity were just money. And Kincaid's able to get his feet down to move the chains. The more these two guys play together, defenses need to watch out because their ability to make plays inside of structure and outside of structure are going to give defenses fits. Watch Josh work through his progressions. Once again, kind of get out to his left with a 3-man rush, a spy on him. There's no one open underneath. He directs Kincaid to get upfield, and then the catch was just phenomenal. And his ability to get his feet down along the boundary were just so crucial on this play. This is just one of those plays that keeps defensive coordinators up at night. 3-man rush, spy, inside of structure. The play is pretty much shut down, but Josh and Kincaid work outside of structure in the scramble drill, and they are able to move the chains and extend the drive. Thanks for tuning into that breakdown. If you enjoyed that, please smash that like button, leave us a comment. Let us know what you liked and what you want us to cover in the future. Or at the very least, hit that subscribe button to the Cover One YouTube channel. I am Erik Turner, owner of Cover One, host of the Film Room every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Until our next Film Room breakdown, go Bills.